Having a bad day? Well, it's time to bounce back with variety music and resilient J. We are the Bounce Back Station, only on Resilient Radio Stream. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Resilient J. Say what's up, everybody.
What up, though, everybody?
Now, I do have to give my accolades, so let me make sure I got this right, because I wrote some stuff down.
Okay, all right.
So I want to do a formal introduction, right? Because you got to give it its just. Now, I might miss some things because you're doing a lot.
Okay.
Okay, so you're doing a lot, so let me make sure I got it right. Now, without further ado, like I've been telling you guys, this is Resilient J. You're listening to the Bounce Back Station on the Resilient Radio Stream. This is the variety music show. And I have here with me today, it's almost 6. We're 6:01 actually. I have T Barb. Now let me give her her just, okay? Now, T Barb has her MBA from the University of Detroit Mercy. Her favorite quote is, "You don't have to stay where you start." Retired hood rat by her own right.
Okay.
Author of the Hood Rat Kitchen Vegan book. She's a chef. She's a philanthropist with the organization T Barb and Friends. Mother, motivational speaker, actress, has a 30-minute special on Amazon Prime called Getting Off, Season 1 and 2. Content creator of Only in Detroit. You guys know how it goes. She's a guest host on the D Live. And she's now a host on her Tubi movie, Only in My Hood. How'd I do?
You did great. You did
How'd I
great.
do?
Thank you, Resilient J.
I
felt like I was on The View or something. Thank you so much. I appreciate that amazing introduction. I think you checked all the boxes on there. You hit the philanthropy, which of course is important to me as a product of Detroit with T Barb and Friends. It's always because I was a social worker before I started doing comedy, so it's always been important to me to give back to the community, and you just checked off all the marks, so thank you very much, Resilient J.
Not a problem, not a problem. Now listen, if you guys follow her on IG or Facebook, I am T Barb. You guys already know how busy she is. I get lost. I get sleepy looking at her. I don't know if you
Am I really that busy?
Oh my God.
Am I really that busy?
Oh, I'm jealous because I'm like, if she up, I got to be up.
Oh
I got
my God.
to post.
I lay down. I get a lot of sleep actually.
Okay,
so,
cool,
you know.
cool.
Yes,
All right, cool. Now,
yes.
are you a one-man team?
I am. Well,
Really?
I have some assistants. I feel like I freelance my team. I don't have a big permanent team. I don't have a large circle. I do freelance certain things I do, but pretty much I am. I give a big shout out to my lawyer. Who does a lot for me. So I always tell creatives and people in the industry, or just people in period, if you're going into business for yourself, even if you're going to be a one-man team like I am, make sure you at least have some great people around you, especially the lawyer piece. You need the lawyer piece. Anytime you start signing contracts, it's time to have a lawyer involved. Yeah.
Wow. Now, I know, the Super Bowl is in New Orleans.
Yes.
You spent a little time in New Orleans.
I went to college in New Orleans. I'm an HBCU graduate.
Gotcha. So,
Yes.
What's your favorite restaurant down there? For those folks that are down in New Orleans listening now, T Barb is going to give you a place to go.
Okay, I'm going to give you a place to go. Now, first off, don't judge me now, because when I was living in New Orleans, I was not a vegan. Okay, I'm a vegan now.
Okay.
But when I was in New Orleans, I was not. So, I used to love this place called the Trolley Stop, which they closed. It was a breakfast spot, stayed open at 4 a.m. Now, if you're going to New Orleans, you have to go to Drago's. Okay. Drago's has the best oysters in the entire country. They flame broil the oysters. They have this butter sauce. It's amazing. So, if you in New Orleans, baby, for everybody who's getting ready to go down, you got to have that Drago's. And you got to have a beignet from Cafe Du Monde. Now, don't get me wrong. They only serve like 3 things. A beignet, a coffee, and what they consider a latte, which is half milk, half coffee. They don't have no almond, no nothing. It's just basic, but those are just, to me, I feel like signature things you have to do in New Orleans.
So you're straight vegan, like not pescatarian either? Or?
No, well, I didn't start just straight vegan. So this has been a 9-year journey. So 9 years, it's been 9 years since I had like a piece of like chicken or turkey or anything other than seafood. And then when I first started, I was vegetarian, so I was eating eggs and cheese and stuff. I went over into the pescatarian, but it's been about 1.5 years. Maybe 2 years.
I stopped almost 20 years ago, and I remember the first time I stopped, I literally had a dream of KFC's 6-piece honey barbecue wings. The little wings had on skirts, and they were dancing, and chicken is the killer.
You know what chicken is? And I just got through serving some chicken. We did chicken cheese quesadillas today.
And see, we can serve. You serve it too, just don't eat it.
I have a hot dog cart. I just don't get half my own supply. You better know it.
I barbecue, but I have no idea how it tastes.
Yeah. Well, I have my son. I have a little greedy son, so he gonna eat and yum and gobble up whatever. So yeah, so I know how it tastes. I'm pretty sure. I can kind of smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you.
For real.
Well, we got you here for the whole hour. You got a lot going on. It's no rush, but I know it'll go by fast. I asked T, hey, give me a playlist of some of the songs that you like, and of course she started naming everything that I didn't have.
Listen, you gonna ask me to name a playlist. I was trying to be, because baby, we will T Grizzly and sell all up and down on this station, okay? I am a baby Trine. I still listen to a lot of I'm a boss man, D-Lo, Skilla, baby, Cash, So I wanted to hit you with my,
right?
Because I'm a multifaceted person. I'm very ghetto, but I'm also very educated. So I hit you with some of my, what I would call my general favorites. I was trying to, keep it a little resilient radio. Yeah, I ain't want your station to get too ghetto, because they'll be like, oh my God, who is this girl?
It's the T takeover, though.
It's the T Barb takeover. So I'm letting y'all know, I didn't hit y'all with all my deep down class, you know what I'm saying? I ain't hit y'all with all of them, but I did some of my favorites.
I'll just start off with the views and opinions stated by T Barber, not that of the station. That's how you clear yourself.
I love that. Clear yourself.
So comedy obviously is your thing.
Yeah.
Tell me about the first time you hit the stage.
Oh my God. So what it was I was working in adult protective services for the state of Michigan. Okay. And my coworker did comedy on the side. And of course I was a fool in the office, always laughing, talking. I was doing investigations for protective service, and we was cracking up by the time I left the house. They might have been calling me some when I got to the door. But by the time I left, people was laughing and kicking it. So they like, if you can make people in a protective services investigation laugh, then you might got something. And plus, I've always been silly and goofy, even before it was popular to be silly and goofy. Back in the day, it wasn't popular to be goof, like it is now. So, so I was always goofy. And my coworker invited me. She told me to get 3 minutes ready, come to her open mic. So I got 3 minutes of stand-up material together. I did it. A light bulb went off, and I was just like, I really want to do this. But that was my first time. It was 3 minutes. I invited everybody. I invited all my cousins. I invited my dope fiend aunties. I had everybody in there, about 30, 40 people, all my coworkers, my sister. I'll never forget that moment. And it was just a feeling that came over me when I was doing comedy. I was like...
So you couldn't get booed because family was in there.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be no booing. Matter of fact, if somebody booed me, my family from Joy Road, they probably would have jumped them. So it wasn't going to be no booing me. It wasn't going to be no booing T Barb. At the time, I wasn't T Barb yet, though. I was just still Tiffany.
Okay.
I was still Tiffany at that time.
Okay, cool. Well, that's what's up. I actually read that about that story. And I was like, man, you know how some people, because I know there's somebody at home or watching or listening that's like, I think I can do comedy. What inspirationally could you tell them? Because everybody think they can get up there, but it's different though. It's different.
It is. I think one thing I will say in Detroit, and I know this is other places as well, but Detroit is notorious for this. It's like everybody's a celebrity or a star, which don't get me wrong, we are. We always the Flash. Somebody from Detroit in the room. But that still doesn't negate the work that it takes to be at a certain level. So although I'm funny and it was something natural, it still is a craft that takes a lot of work. I still have to go and sit down. I still have to test things out. I still have to, write out my jokes or try and test them. And it's a lot of hard work. So what I'll say is this. For you to start comedy, you need to get your self-esteem in check because it's going to be a lot more no's than yeses. And I think when people see you and they see some success in your life, they don't understand that you've had more rejection than you have acceptance. The only thing is you can get 1,000 no's. It only take one yes, and it only take the right yes. And I've adopted the idea that no means next opportunity. You know what I mean? I don't take it as I'm just down and out. So if you can't take a no, if you can't take rejection, comedy is not for you. If you're not willing to be critiqued or willing to rework things, if you one of them people that's just hardwired to believe that your way is the only way, this ain't the field for you. Because you're going to be constantly learning about yourself. And also, if you have a self-esteem issues, it's not the field for you. Because you have to still be confident in who you are. And constantly working on your craft. This ain't just all fun. Yeah. This is really work.
Yeah. I watch, you see people up there because I've watched some of your shows. I'll see you up there and people be like, I could do that. Like, nah. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Even when I'm up there, I'm like, nah.
Ain't no way.
I don't even know who be up there sometimes. I'm like, who the hell was that?
Right. Tell me about a time. What was like your worst bomb?
Okay, so I think one of my worst bombs was Kool-Aid. Rest in peace to the late great Kool-Aid, my comedy mentor, Detroit's finest. Yes. That's how I am where I am right now is dealing with Kool-Aid. Mm-hmm. So Kool-Aid had invited me to do this place called Nick's, and Nick's was like his big once a month show where he brought in all the celebrity comedians, the Alex Thomases, the Smokey Swarbrick, all of these names. As a matter of fact, one time Sherry Shepherd was in there with us. She didn't have a show yet, but everybody, Corey Holcomb, everybody just wanted to be down with Kool-Aid and pull up. So I'm excited. I'm the newbie. He gonna give me this guest spot. I done came in there, baby, with my fur on. I done pulled out my fur. You know what I'm saying? I got my fur on. I got my ice on, baby. I'm like, what's happening? Okay. Go in there, and first joke goes good. After that, I looked out, and my timing was off. Because as a comedian, that's what it takes time. You can write a funny joke. I'm not saying that. But on stage, it's a thing called timing. So comedic timing is probably just as important as the material itself. My timing was completely off. I was all over the place. I was talking I was sweating. It just was not good. Now, I did not get booed. But it was like 10 minutes of silence. It was like 3 people that was feeling them, and they was laughing hard, and 200 people not saying nothing. I was so embarrassed, so I came down, and I was like, oh. And what I love about Kool-Aid is he made me do the next show. It was 2 shows that night. I said, oh, I did so bad. He said, oh, well, I hope you do better the next one. And I did. But it was hard to watch somebody, my mentor, somebody who had really entrusted me with a spot like that to see me kind of, But, it's a part of the game.
So, ladies and gentlemen listening, what's the moral to the story from the great T? Never give up. You see how she bombed and had to immediately get back up. She didn't even have time to wallow or feel bad. She went right back out there and knocked it out. That's her story. I love it. Yeah. She's here with us on the Resilient Radio stream. We're going to let her get a break, get some water, stretch. We'll be back after a couple of these tracks, man. This is Resilient J and T Barb on the Bounce Back Station.
Hey, the T Barb playlist. Let's listen, y'all.
Yes, I'm
a big Tupac fan, so I'm not tripping. You going in exactly the way I need you to.
I appreciate it. Hey, we just in here kicking it. T Barb dropping some jewels with us with this vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian lifestyle. She just put me up on some stuff about the fishing industry. That's what I'm saying, man. She's just full of jewels.
I am really a nerd at heart, to be honest, and I don't know what kind of duality that I have going on in my life. It's really a stark contrast, but yeah, now, I'm really a nerd.
Now, your What Up Detroit, your videos that you have online, some of the stuff that you show, I'll be like, where in the hell did she find that at? What side of Instagram and TikTok are you on that you able to find all of this crazy stuff that go on in the city of Detroit. I'm like, I'm down here. I don't never see people in the middle of the street with a cart. You'll find them with a giraffe and monkeys. How do you?
I mean, I feel like, stuff just be popping up.
Yeah, don't tell us the source.
It started with me catching some things, myself. Maybe I'm riding past a bus stop and it's a couch there. Maybe I'm, because these things have happened. And I decided to just start saying, wow, this is funny to me, Yeah. And it kind of went from there. And then eventually people started sending me stuff. You know what I mean? So it went from me catching some stuff and then somebody saying, yo, T Barb,
did you see
this?
Yeah.
And they still send me stuff now,
Okay,
so I'm like, okay, I'm up on it.
I'm like, she just has the most incredible...
I ain't gonna lie, I did. I just caught something today that I'm gonna drop tonight. I don't know, we're in Metro Detroit. I know the listeners are from all over the world. Shout out to all the worldwide, all the countrywide folks. But I'm right here. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. We have a city called Southfield, Michigan, which is a suburb. And I just saw a guy, and I was 20 degrees outside, and he is doing a full-fledged ROTC hookup. Have you seen him?
No.
So he blocks the traffic. He wears a sparkly jacket. He has the fake ROTC gun, and he's flipping. And he just caught a gun with his foot, and I caught it on tape. It's going down tonight. Yeah, just going to CVS. So that's what I mean. Ain't nobody looking out. I'm not riding around with binoculars. It's just in my face. You might be riding behind a car that look like it's skating. It's cops to the side or a truck that's cut in half. Detroit is known for the cut in half truck. So, listen, people gonna make a way. We gonna get there. How we gonna get? Or the fake Michael Jackson. Everybody in the city know the fake Michael Jackson. It's two of them. They battle each other. Yeah. Every once in a while, I roll up on them. Or Chris Brown, the East Side Chris Brown, also known as East Side Power Ranger.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah, so it ain't me, it's them.
Right. Which is a good segue into your movie.
Okay, and it's a show.
I'm sorry, show. When you say Tubi, we so used to all the Tubi movies being shot. Now it's turning into a habit of just when people say Tubi, we just instantly think that somebody got a movie.
No, absolutely.
The first scene was a Pepsi, then the second scene is a Coca-Cola.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I love it. I just posted a Tubi movie where it was the worst struggle braid wig I ever seen. Why you gonna wear a wig and struggle with the wig? Now you could have kept your hair for that, but that's another
Don't
story.
tell the movie. Don't tell.
I won't. But yeah, I love Tubi. So I have some friends that are filmmakers. Shout out to my homegirl Renika McQueen Eccles. She does have some movies, Deceitful Passions and Cain and Abel, Family Divided. But I have a show out. It's called Only in My Hood. So everybody loves the Only in Detroit, the What Up Though. And I consider myself the hood Bob Saget. Okay? That's for my people. If you don't know who Bob Saget is, I don't know what to tell you. Full House King, America's Funniest Home Videos. And Only in My Hood is we are watching and laughing at the internet together. Okay, it is 6 episodes, super funny. I executive produced this project. Co-producer was producer Bay. So shout out to her. It was an all-female cast that shot this crew. Our camera people, our audio people, everything were all women. Wow. And the show is super funny. So if you're looking for something to laugh, you a laugher. You like internet clips. You love, we even have the Montgomery Brawl in episode 5. We have a lot of those viral clips that you love. Shout out to G Mac Cash. My brother, one of the comedians from Detroit, been going viral. He did a song to the Montgomery Brawl. We covered that. Shout out to Coco, the Detroit's queen of comedy. Legend. We have her on episode 1 with her legendary performance on Comic View where she pulled you got to watch the show to see on episode 1. And I brought some of my famous and getting ready to be famous friends. We got Swifty McVeigh from D12 on that. We got comedian Jay Will. We got Daddy Speed, who is the father of the #1 streamer in the world, I Show Speed. So he's on episode 6. He actually sung the theme song Only in My Hood. Okay. My Hood. Yeah. So he sung that song. And I love the show. I love the creativity of it. Like I said, in the beginning, beginning of the episode, we look at different clips from the internet. We laugh, we crack up. Everybody has their take. We have a lot of animation in there, so it's a lot of boom, boom. It's like watching a internet skit the whole time. And then at the end, I get all up in their business.
Yes,
did you see me getting in their business? Jay,
nosy.
did you see me up in their business? And they was giving it to me. Wasn't they?
Freely.
You know, back in the day, used to be like, your mom was like, don't tell nobody that.
Right.
They was like, I did sleep with such and such. I
Help
saw some
yourself.
drugs. What's going on?
Yeah.
So I asked a lot of questions that people want to know about in the entertainment industry. Yeah. Is it really like that? Is it really that freaky? Do people really do that many drugs? You know, I asked them about their come up, what it's like to be striving for the dream. Because in entertainment, a lot of times, like Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, all you see is Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish now. She used to be in somebody's basement. Right. He used to be at a little bar trying to get some attention. He used to be at a small comedy club to now selling out arenas. So it's a process.
That's true.
And we get all up in about the process. So I hope everybody goes watch it. Tubi is that platform, baby. Because Netflix go up one more time, baby.
Right, I'm telling you.
If Netflix go up one more again,
wow.
Okay, you're going to have to choose between a diaper and a TV show. And we don't want your baby booty naked.
No.
We want the baby to have some pampers. You understand me?
Right.
So that's why we say go over to Tubi. Only in My Hood, hosted by T Barb, 6 episodes. If you don't like episode 1, you'll love episode 4. I think you'll love all of them. But I tell people, hey, everybody has their own rhythm and their own people. And each show has its own separate flavor. That's what I love about it as well. So
yeah, that's that. And the next best part is that Tubi's global. So for all our listeners in the UK, and Nigeria, and South Africa, and Australia, Canada, I see you guys all over. Canada, listen. Sorry, it's not all of us. You can still go to Tubi.
Yeah, Canada.
Don't blame it all on us.
Don't blame it on me. Because they taking our stuff off the counter shelves immediately.
Absolutely.
And shout out to Africa. I'm getting ready to go to Morocco. I'm going to Africa for the first time this year. So I'm excited about that. So to all the Moroccans that are listening, you know, make sure y'all look up T Barb. So when I pull up, y'all see me. Y'all be like, oh.
Now I did. So I do have to ask you because I was on IG earlier and I saw a list of what you have coming up next. And I got sleepy. I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
When in the hell? Okay, you're doing what, when, and then what, when, and then. So I don't know. You know, how are you managing this schedule that you're laughing because somebody else, people are telling you this. You keep hearing it, and it's like, I don't even want to go to your page no more because you make me get up in the middle of the night like, this bro ain't sleeping. I got to get up. But that's good. That's motivating. You know what I mean? It's inspiring. And you never know who you're inspiring by, you know, by what you're posting. But that was the first thing I saw because I was like, all right, let me see what she's doing on. I was like, you see this list? Oh, no, I got to, you know what I mean? So how are you keeping up, you know, just with your mental health, your traveling back and forth from LA to Detroit, your kids, you know what I mean? How are you doing that?
Yeah, you know what? Thank you for asking me that. Cause at times, and it's gonna sound crazy, probably, maybe since you already feel like that. At times, I feel like I'm not doing enough.
Really?
Absolutely. You know, like if I get into, let's say I'm at the crib for 3-4 days, I'm laying down, and I'm never not working. So even when I'm at home all day, I have a home office. You know, because I also have a home health company that I'm running. We have 38 employees over there, loving in our purpose. So shout out to my partner Jackie Llewellyn. And you know, we help people who have Medicaid get people assistance in their home with people to provide care for them here in the state of Michigan. So sometimes I feel lackluster, like I'm not doing enough. So to see somebody else's interpretation is
that's why I was like, who's your team and where are they? I need to talk to them because, you know, do they need another job? Because there is no, and you're saying it's just you?
Yeah. It's me, and I send stuff over to my lawyer.
Right.
And sometimes I answer y'all emails like it ain't me. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure y'all understand this is business. It ain't personal, you know. But but yeah, it's me. Even down to the website, you know, and I do have a website designer who I lean to. Like I said, I have a lot of freelance. T Barb is a freelance team, but no, I don't have a booking agent or a manager. I'm doing all this on my own. And it's just about time management.
Yeah.
You really can get as much as you want to do in a day done if you manage it correctly.
Yeah.
So I've always been big on time management, and luckily my son is probably my number one teammate. He's 18 now, so I have him do a lot of stuff to assist me. And like you said, right now I'm here in Detroit. I'm actually filming The Stranger in Our House season 2, which season 1 of The Stranger in Our House is on Tubi right now. Super dope series created by a black woman. Once again, my friend Renika McQueen Eccles, and it's about a serial killer in Detroit. So super dope, super good. And so I'm on season 2. I'm going to be playing the captain. So I'm enjoying that. Yeah, this is my first time in a series. Tomorrow I'll be on set all day. And so that's going on. And then on Valentine's Day, February 14th, I'm doing Love Poems Live with Joe Fluent Green, who's an Emmy Award-winning poet here in Detroit at the Detroit Public Theater. Then February 19th, I'll be in San Diego at the Mic Drop Club, No Limit Comedy. Courtney B, D-Lo Brown, Katrina, Camille, all ladies line up there in San Diego. It'll be my first time in San Diego, actually. Then I come back here because we're filming every weekend. And then I go back out to LA March 5th. I'm at the Ice House for Ladies Love Comedy with D-Lo Brown. That'll be nice. And then on March 21st, I'm at the Redford Theater.
See?
March 22nd, we're at Macomb Community College earlier in the day for a motivational event. They're looking for vendors, motivational event. And then that evening, I'm headlining the One Mic Detroit, which is Mike Epps' new comedy club here. Right. And then I'll go back home to LA because I'm right now, give it up, I'm bi-coastal, so I'm happy about that.
Did you hear I'm going to go back home?
Because I'm home in Detroit and I'm home in LA now as well. Right. So shout out, I just got the most fabulous apartment. I'm super excited about this.
Look for some more video of you playing with the shades.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was my hotel. I was feeling my seat. Well, this one's gonna. If you thought them shades was something, baby, wait till you see this rooftop with this heated pool, jacuzzi. It's really a nice place. God has really blessed me. And then I come back. I'm shooting a sketch show called Down with the Skits that we're doing right now. We're writing on that, so it's like one of my first formal writing credits on a show. Writing some sketches, so that's exciting. It's exciting to be in the camera a little more. And then at the end of April, I'm going over to Morocco for a couple of weeks, and then we'll see where I go from there. But that's what I have right now.
I'm looking forward to see what you post about Morocco. I have someone that's coming to our podcast who had a 2-week trip to South Africa. I think she was like it was just life changing.
Well, South Africa is very, very beautiful. Yeah. And I think that people forget that Africa is a continent. It's not a country. Right. It's 52 countries. Right. So we tend to think about, that's like, North America is only 3 countries. United States, Canada, and Mexico. Right. Imagine if it was 52 of us. Right. And people just kept saying, so there are a lot of things that they show us, but sometimes you got to get out and travel and see for yourself.
You do. And just 2 things. Did you guys hear that schedule? How could you not support her? Make sure you go to T Barb. Just like the content, put the hearts in there, do whatever you need to do. And then 2, I don't see where the hood rat is. Well, you did say retired because who knows off the top of their head? It's 52 countries. And
I do have
it's true. I know.
But I'm retired, and relapse is a part of recovery, Jay. Now, don't you get it twisted. Now, my parents met fresh out of prison for real. They met in a halfway house. So I've been gang banging. I learned how to drive, but crackheads taught me how to drive, and my dope dealing boyfriend. So we was side swiping the hell out of everybody's car on Joy Road. I'm sorry, y'all. So it's just God, grace, and growth.
Definitely. Well, hey, look, you guys, you're listening to the Variety Music Show on the Resilient Radio Stream. I'm Resilient J. You have T Barb. Make sure you guys are following the Resilient Radio Stream on all his channels. Make sure you're following T Barb on Instagram, Facebook, all of the channels that you can think of. Make sure you're following her. make sure you go on Tubi and watch Only in My Hood. It's a series. It's 6 episodes. Tell your family, tell your friends. Only in My Hood. Make sure you check that out. This is the Resilient Radio Stream. We'll be back after this break.
I like shiny things. You like shiny things. Got us in trouble. We like shiny things. Thought it would change our world. We like shiny things.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Resilient J. We're in the lab with T Barb. T Barb is here. She dropping some jewels, man. A beautiful lady, man. All I can tell you guys is just I'm gonna have to tell you when to go to the YouTube channel, man, and check out my time with the lovely T Barb, man. Beautiful person, beautiful lady. But if you know her, you already know that. You already know that.
Oh, thank you. Everybody don't know. It's some people that know the other T Barb, Tiffany. They know Tiffany. I know, but thank you. I appreciate that. I too.
So again, we just in here in the studio. She stopped in for an hour, man, to come kick it on the Brazilian radio stream. You guys don't know if you heard us. Make sure you go to Tubi and check out Only in My Hood. It's a series. It's 6 episodes. Go do it. Do it tonight. Call your auntie.
Do it tonight.
Do it tonight. Call your auntie. Tell them check out Only in My Hood. Call your grandma. Tell her check out Only in My Hood. Call your cousin, your nephew, your auntie, and your uncle. Only in My Hood. You know what? As a matter of fact, if Mason is looking at this, I'm getting ready to challenge Mason and his drop. No, I'm not. We can't mess with you, man. We can't. I saw Mason's drop, man. He the best. But,
I love him.
Yeah,
I love
Mason.
Shout out to Mason.
So we were just talking a minute ago about a lot of things that T Barb is doing has an emphasis on women and women empowerment. So just talk about the women's movement in comedy in the city of Detroit, how it may be different now that you're dual living in LA in Detroit, because Detroit comedy is something else. But so talk about all of that, just your desire to help other women and Detroit comedy.
It's interesting. I'm glad that you said that. Yeah, I do have an emphasis on women and helping women, and just understanding that as women we have our own perspective and that we are powerful in the same breath. And a lot of women are funny just like their male counterparts, because you will get you're funny for a woman or you're fun. No. Yeah. We're just funny. Yeah. And I think that it's the women. It's almost like in hip hop. If you notice, we used to only have one rapper, maybe two. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We weren't allowed to have a whole category of poppin' female rap artists, where now you see so many different types, so many different styles. You have so many to choose from. So it's the same thing with the female comedy. Back in the day, especially in black female comedy, which I consider myself a mainstream artist. I cater to all crowds, but I am a black woman first, So when I look at that and I think about how it was only one or two, you had the queens of comedy. Now it's a whole new genre of stand-up comedian, and a new genre of comedian that does a little bit of everything, because I do the internet well, I do the voiceovers well, but I'm a beast on stage. I'm a stand-up comedian first and foremost. That's my main thing. So I love this revolution, and I'm proud and happy to be a part of that revolution right now. That's kind of changing the game. And letting ourselves be more vocal and allowing ourselves to take up that space in this industry. And then Detroit, it is time. Detroit, I love my city, but Detroit makes you tough.
Yes,
it does.
Yes.
And I just was looking at this video online, and it was two little boys. I don't know if you saw it, and it was some balls lined up. And one little boy is grabbing the balls from the beginning. He's putting them in the basket. The other one's going around to the end. I feel like I'm indicative of the one going around to the end, because I'm like, whoa. And Detroit is the same way. I feel like we've been building the city up, and all of us seem like we're blowing at the same time. From our sports. Shout out to the Lions.
Yes, ma'am.
Shout out to the Detroit basketball. The Red Wings finally get drunk. Here. You know, because y'all used to be the ones.
Right.
What happened to you guys?
Right.
But they're coming back. They're
Right.
coming back. Don't get mad at me, Red Wings. Send me a little jersey or something. Leave me alone. Well, I heard we might be getting a WNBA. So that's coming back. The way that the city looks is coming back. You know, I'm loving all the development. All of the businesses, the rap artists. Shout out to my girl Cash Doll. She arguing with the whole internet, but you know we got your back, baby.
Yes,
we got your back, Cash Doll. You know, so I love that, and I love that the comedy is also being included in that. And it's been a long, long time since Detroit has really had a comedic star that has come out as really a Detroit comedic star, because I'm not necessarily a Detroit comedian, but I am a comedian from Detroit, and I rep it very hard. Detroit, if you are funny here, you are hilarious everywhere else. We don't give any sympathy laughs. We don't give any, well, I want to make her feel good. Let me chuckle. They don't give a damn. They'll start ordering chicken wing, lamb chops. Let me get 14 lamb chops right in your face. And they'll be, you know, people from Detroit love lamb chops.
Right.
That's a whole nother issue. I got a joke about that because the whole lamb can't be a chop. I ain't never seen a lamb. You know, what is a lamb roast or a rump roast of lamb? It ain't nothing but a chop in Detroit. If it ain't a chop, it'll be a lamb bite. All I seen is a chop.
They use all the lamb.
It's just the chop. The booty is the chop. They just gonna mold it into the chop.
The chop? Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What is the chop? But anyway, that's a whole other story. I'm going down the rabbit hole. ADHD. But Detroit, they're gonna sharpen you. So when you go out, you're ready. You're sharp. You're ready. LA is more of a polished town. Detroit teaches you to be funny. LA teaches you to be likable. Because I think that's something that a lot of people don't get in comedy or in entertainment, period. You don't have to be the funniest. You have to be funny. You don't have to be the funniest, but do they like you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people are just hilarious, but they mean as hell.
Yeah.
We'll laugh at them, but we really don't like them. You know what I'm saying? So that plays a lot into it. So I think when you have that Detroit grit, grind, hustle, funny, and then you pair that with the fact that you can be likable, you know, that's when that Detroit talent comes out as unstoppable.
Yeah, it being likable definitely matters. For sure. It matters.
For real, because there's a lot of people we don't like.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm not going to that. I saw them at the grocery store. They didn't even say hi. But I know that can get annoying, too. You know, people always... You can't do simple things. Sometimes you just want to go to the store, grab your food, and get out of there. Next thing you know, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? So I know that.
I mean, I feel new to that space.
Okay.
I feel new to the space. Maybe the last couple of years. Of course, as my celebrity grows, then the more you're hosting Live in a D, or you're on this new segment, or they mention you on this radio station, or they see you with this celebrity, or you're in this, so the more visual you become, the more you will get that.
So does the tabloid.
Let me say this on the tabloids. I tell my business. They ain't even gotta look for it. I nobody. Shit, excuse me. That's gonna be the tabloid. But I tell my family. I said, listen, y'all. I'm not gay. I just want to make that announcement. Nothing wrong against that. But I ain't never brought a man to Thanksgiving. So I said,
what's wrong with it?
Yeah, they probably like, what's going on? But no, it's just it's very hard to find somebody to be equally yoked with, and I can't have anybody that's not there to 100% be supportive of what I am. And I'm a spoiler. And I just feel like a lot of people, once you get to spoil them, they take your kindness for weakness. And why do I have to play these games and be mean and be a bee to get you to like me? I want to be able to be sweet from the beginning and not be that. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, people, it's so difficult dating. That's a whole nother show. We had to make this a scheduled weekly show via phone.
Listen,
to talk about relationships.
I went out on a date. I was going out with a guy last year, and we was going out to eat. And he always wanted me to pay the tip, and I thought that was so. First of all, that's when I said, "Oh, I can't do this." I quit.
Because all right. So how many times did y'all go out?
We went out a lot.
He always wanted you to pay the tip.
Most of the time.
You got the tip.
Most of the time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Is
But
that bad? Let me see.
I'm not gonna say it's bad. I think that's more
was he
relationship
like,
stuff.
it's on you? Was he like being argumentative?
No, it was like, do you have some cash on you?
Okay.
And then I'll be like, yeah, because I usually always do.
Yeah.
And the first couple of times I didn't mind, but then afterwards I said, oh, this is just the pattern. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm not a fan of, honestly. I would, but I'm just not a fan of it. And some women may, that's fine. I just feel like that's kind of indicative of where we're going to keep going.
Yeah.
And don't invite me out and you ain't ready. We could have ate at the crib.
Right.
I didn't cook, you know what I'm saying? We could have just been chilling.
Past due notice is 180. He got 150. You got the other 30.
He got 150. He think we live together.
You got the other 30.
And my thing is, if you gonna be doing all that, and this the thing. That's a whole nother show. Listen,
Right,
y'all tell me y'all
right.
wanna come back and have this show.
Right.
Because I really
We gonna get T
shots
back on
fired.
here
Pow, pow,
for
pow, pow.
men v women. Pop the balloon. We just gonna have radio discussion. Y'all call in and we gonna talk about all of your dirt, and you gonna get some therapy from T.
Listen, I'm still laughing at the manhood being attached to the wallet.
That man.
No, it is not. It is not. It is not. Okay. Yeah.
We gonna.
Yeah.
You see how we need to do it again?
That's why y'all
You need
gotta
to
go
pick
watch
that up.
Only in My Hood.
Yeah, you gotta watch Only.
We arguing like that.
See, we need to do that. But look, all right, hey, this is a special show. We over. I'm glad you guys are listening. I'm gonna let T Barb close the show out. Close them out. Let them know whatever you want them to know.
I'm gonna let her. First off, shout out to the Brazilian radio family. Thank you so much for having me. Make sure y'all keep tapping in, tuning in. You never know who Jay's gonna have in the building, what kind of conversations gonna be going in. So y'all make sure y'all keep supporting. Y'all go get some of them potty products, okay? Cause we got the little tissue for your little BBLs. You know it's BBL approved. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get up in them cheeks. I ain't got one, I can't say, but I know a few chicks who do, and they say they swear by it. And of course, I'm T Barb. I want y'all to go follow me. Hit me up on Instagram. I am T Barb. That's TBARB. Hey, like he said, my favorite quote is, you don't have to stay where you start. No matter what's going on in your life, just keep put one foot in front of the other and you'll be further than if you just stood still. Remember, we only live in this one life, so make sure that you live it to your fullest. Think about this. If you got up tomorrow and somebody gave you some bad news that you would only be here for this long, then you would spend that time. So when you get up every day, make sure you leave your mark. Make sure you leave your generational wealth. Make sure that you love harder. And it doesn't matter where you are right now. If tomorrow you decide to be a better person, a different person, you're allowed to be that person. Because why? T Barb told you. Like I said, I'm a retired hood rat. Relapse is a part of recovery. So if you see me doing some hood rat, just pray, because he saw the best in me. He saw the best in me. You can also go to my website, which is tbarbisfunny.com, and of course check me out on Tubi, Only in My Hood, and look for me across in your city. I'll be on tour hopefully the end of the year. That's my goal. So if you want to see some funny stand-up comedy, keep up with T Barb, tbarbisfunny.com. And thank you so much for having me today. I appreciate y'all.